Greetings, family. Greetings, melanated people, queens and kings all over the world. I am your hostess, Deanne. I'm on a little late. It took me almost about this 20, 30, 45 minutes to get online. And I don't know if there was an issue on my end or the end of YouTube. So we're going to go with it. So thank you so much for being patient. I was trying diligently to get on at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time, 5:30 for you. So I'm a little late. So this will be a short, briefing of what we want to talk about today. So thank you so much for tuning in. So I will read the disclaimer. I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I may or may not need to read the disclaimer, but I'm just crossing my I's and dotting my T's. So thank you again for tuning in. So copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research, education and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. So thank you again for tuning in. I am trying to figure out if we as a collective, do we have an agenda? Not a religious agenda, not a political agenda, although it may be. But do we have a way that we move throughout this country and worldwide? Because I don't know what the standard is, but we can maybe, think about that and have some things into place. So, for example, I was thinking about Amazon. So Amazon wasn't around maybe 20, 25 years ago. It started maybe around that time. And so do we have another metrics of, hey, saying these are Black owned companies that we can order, let's just say personal care to this one company, a little cheaper, blah, 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 good quality, organic, blah, vegan, whatever. But do we have a way that we can keep more of our resources in our community? I'm just asking. Because it seems like, I'm guilty of it too. I think if we have another choice, we can definitely make different decisions. Because I don't know what the end game is, but it seems like all the money is going to Bezos and the shareholders and blah, blah. I'm not trying to say it's wrong, but we can do the same in our community. Can't we are educated enough, we have engineers, we know about software, hardware, we know how to make the engine move. So why can't we keep, let's just say, 75% of personal care in our community, you know, or 90%? We go to ABC, melanated 101. This is the website, let's just say. And we actually keep that money in our community. Because right now, we give away, we spend maybe 95% of our resources in other communities. Where are the sisters that have the gift of doing hair, the gift of doing locks, etc.? I used to have locks for many years. So where are these locticians nationwide? So can we have a national portal so we can have a one-stop shop? If I'm looking for personal items, if I'm looking for lock stuff, blah blah blah, we have to do better because we know better. So right now we're just, I don't think it's a reason to have no respect, but we have to start somewhere. So even if it's 80% of our resources for personal care, this is going to stay in our community. I know Amazon's there, blah, blah, but we can keep and capture these dollars and recirculate them back into our community. So I don't know if we have an agenda like that. I mean, we need to kind of move in this country like any other group. You have a certain level of respectability, self-respectability, because we know the importance of our dollars, just like we know the importance used to be of the vote. But we have to shift our attention to what's going to be fruitful for ourselves and generations to come. Because if we keep doing what we keep doing, we're going to keep getting what we keep getting. And it's a shame that literally we don't have anything to show for, I'm just talking about globally, the big picture. We don't have anything to show for the 460 plus years, 466 years of, this horrific experience, which is America. We have to do better because we know we have the resources. We know we have the wherewithal to do it, because it's ridiculous that we keep going to the same systems that do what? They perhaps pay us low wages, blah, 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 no respectability. These jobs, I talked to someone, I'm a seller, as you know, on Amazon. So I had to talk to someone about a particular thing, and that was going on. It took maybe 5 or 10 minutes. And so I had to talk to someone live. It seems like these jobs could and should be US jobs. I'm not understanding. Even if it's 60K, 70K, first shift, second shift, third shift. Why can't these jobs be, union based, um, you know, 50, 60, no, not 50. So 60, $70,000 a year. Why can't that be? Because they're going to the lowest bidder. That's what the free trade agreement was about. So, I would think Bezos would have, I'm not just picking on Bezos, but Bezos probably has money, gazillions of dollars. I think he's like up to 50 or 70 trillion dollars. So his lineage will be well taken care of into what, 20, even if we're still on this planet, let's just say the year 3000. I'm just saying they should be totally set. So why aren't those jobs in the US? Are those, I'm not trying to say anything about the people who are working, but I know it's about the dollar. They're probably making, let's just say $100 a week. I don't know that to be true, but it's probably around that amount. 500 maybe. But these are US, should be US driven jobs, 24 hours, 7 days a week as it is. But why can't these be United States jobs that are union based, pension, blah, blah, blah? People are just greedy. Just greed will drive this country into the ground, unfortunately. So we have to look at that. But we need to come up with a solution, because we have to come out as a one front. If we come out scattered, smothered, and covered, we're going to be treated scattered, smothered, and covered. So if we come out unified, regardless of religion, see, we get chiseled in to religion and other factions. That doesn't matter. We are melanated people. That's the beginning and the end of the conversation. So that's where we hang our hat on and we can go forward. So it doesn't even matter what type of religious base or traditions you follow, your family or whatever, whether it's Catholic, whether it's Catholicism, it's Buddhist, it's whatever. We are melanated people. That should be the end and the beginning. So once we move in that way, it's going to be a different respectability that we will gain when we do certain things like moving. We definitely have a certain amount of respectability that we can expect when we move as one people, but we're not doing that. Unfortunately, we're not doing that. We're not moving as one people. We're so scattered. We have to be, like the Jewish people. They move as one entity, or their interest is of one nation, if you will, a nation within a nation. We have to become that. We have to become that, because to go back to the vote, to go back to um, these things that really, really, at the end of the day, they fundamentally don't matter. They should, but they don't. So we have to get a wake up call, like, hmm, you know, we get President Biden, we got Vice President Kamala Harris. So we have a Democratic front. So that should be yay, yay. But it's pretty much all the same. I just I don't know how we can go around that. Because at the end of the day, when we walk out and cancel, we're shot down or injured by police or whatever, cancel. But when this happens, or, on the trajectory for that to happen, no one's asking you, are you Muslim? No one's asking you, are you Christian? No one's asking you, and that's why they're shooting us down. They're shooting us down, cancel, because we're melanated beings. And that's the biggest threat to the livelihood, or to the lively, and the we're going to replace naturally, probably in like 200 more years. I don't know how many Caucasians will be on the planet. I'm not suggesting anything should happen, obviously, but we know what is in the soup. In the soup is more Black, brown, Hispanic, blah, blah, blah. And over time, I'm not going to say in my lifetime, but over time, a period of time, it's going to be bubbling over with white, I mean, less of Black, less of white, and more melanated people. So I think that's freaking people out. You know, but this is what happens when you do things that are horrific and you don't have a sense of rep, reparations of any level. And it's sad because I'm not going to name any people, but some people I personally know, they don't feel we should get reparations. So that's another conversation, another time. But our ancestors sold, they worked this land, they built this country tooth and nail. And so in their honor, we should expect reparations. That should be a goal. I'm not trying to say have a committee just on reparations, but this should be an array of what we're doing, because if we pull out the religious piece, if we pull out the political piece, we can go to the healthiness of our people. If there's dietary concerns, to just have maybe one day of the week we eat chicken or fish or something. I'm just saying, we have to come up with a design of a plan because right now we are just so disorganized. So we don't move as one people. Even if we're separated, obviously many of us are out on the East Coast, a lot of us are out on the West Coast, and all the people in the middle. But we have to come up with a solution of having a way to unite in a spiritual way and move in a way that is helpful for all of us to survive. I saw, not picking on anyone, but I saw Reverend Barber. I think that's his name. And we are literally the same age. We are literally the same year. I think he was like maybe 3 weeks older than me. He's born at the end of August, and I'm towards the end, of September. So we are the same, you know, the ninth month of the year, except I mean the eighth month and ninth month of the year. So he has a wonderful, beautiful campaign. I know he's a minister. I mean, the list goes on. He's well received, and he's on a lot of talk shows and news shows. I mean, the brother is really, on the money, his message. But I'm not trying to say he needs to be a size 32 waist, but he has a good message. He has an excellent message. Okay. The Poor People's Campaign, if that's a good, okay, we jump on that. But is anyone talking to him about his weight? It's sad because I think I saw him on one of the networks. I don't want to plug anyone, but he was, I think he was standing on something, maybe in one place, but he had to continue to adjust himself, probably because of his knees, and I saw that and I was like, for all the hard work and effort and the national attention, your organization, Poor People's Campaign, I think that's his organization, and he's a minister, all that. Someone needs to kind of pull him aside and say, brother, we want you to stay here because, let's go into a wellness conversation. Not trying to say he needs to be 180 pounds. So I'm not even going there. Not even saying a weight, but just for him to be able to stand and not kind of hunched over. His posture, it's a lot of weight. I mean, there's more. There's TD Jakes, he's not to that level, but we have to pull our brothers and sisters aside, not in love, not in like, you need to be, you need to have, not no kind of attitude, but this is love. This is love emerging to say, you know, what can we do to support your healthiness? We have to transition people, whether it's TD Jakes or it's Bishop Barber, it doesn't even matter. A wellness, healthy plan to say, hey, we recognize it may take a year and a half. I'm not trying to say it'll be overnight, but we have to be able to stand toe to toe, look people in the eyes and say, I love you, I'm concerned, please hear this, blah, blah, blah. And I want to get you on a track of going into a healthy state of being. Because at this level, I don't wish anything on him, but at this level, We don't know. He could outlive me, my family, and everything. But we have to be able to call a spade a spade. So if these are ministers, they lead a flock, if you will, that's great. All if you're in that world, that's awesome. I'm not trying to change anyone. But the dietary, we can agree this brother has he can have a better wellness plan. I'll just say that. So this is the conversation we can have when we have a, let's say, a wellness arm, if we have a financial arm, if we have investing. I'm probably going to come up with a few of these ideas myself and roll this out. I'm talking to a web designer slash she has a company, but yeah, I'm going to talk to her about that. How can this be incorporated even in my world of being I'm writing my autobiography right now, and we have to help ourselves and each other. We're not looking for a country, this country, any other country to save us, if you will. We know that ain't gonna happen. Okay. So we have to save ourselves. We have to love one another. We have to do the very best that we can to assist, not crabs in a barrel, which is what they want us to believe and do. Love one another, be concerned about one another, be loving to one another. That's what we can do that. We can do that because the opposite of fear, false evidence appearing real, is perhaps love. So if we can't shoot each other in the street and also have the police on us, and it's like, which way are you going? So we have to have people, come off of drugs. That's number one. We have to have a wellness plan. That's number two. We have to have a financial piece. It's number three. If we do those three, health, financial, and wellness, there's nothing we can't do. There's nothing we can't do because we'll be connecting to our dollars. Our dollars won't go out of our community, within 24 hours. You know, our sisters and brothers would have wellness shops and or salons. They will go over to China and buy the product and come back and sell it wholesale or whatever. We have to inspire people to do this because some inspiration came into Bezos, and we can maybe kind of follow that lead to some degree and tweak it in some way. But we can do this. We have the wherewithal to do this because we see what's not working. We know that, you know, throwing money, we throw money on Prada, we throw money on fill in the blank. This is ridiculous. And I think we definitely need to have a conversation within the community, again, within the community, the melanated community, to say, should we invest in, not trying to be funny, bulletproof vests? I've been talking about this for a few months. I'm not trying to draw that energy in on anyone. Definitely. We're not trying to draw energy on anyone. But a 6-year-old boy, I don't know what state, was shot, 6 years old, was shot. I don't know what city, and I don't think I read that, but a six-year-old child was shot by a grown Asian man or Yeah, he was definitely Asian. So this is why we need to have this conversation about bulletproof vests. It's sad. Not even I wouldn't even think a 6-year-old would be in any type of danger in any way, but they don't have a bottom. Where's the bottom? Where's the AC just cut off. So where is the bottom? We have to be able to navigate this a little bit more wisely, keeping our resources, maybe not buy, other than food, shampoo, essentials, maybe just pocket your money. Just imagine that. Not spending everything you have and you earn, you know, not spending, if you have money left over, why not invest or invest in, art, invest in something that will appreciate in value, a property. I would really like to start buying up properties, and that's on my vision board, because I like real estate. I like to flip houses, and that's my kind of my quote unquote hustle. But I like doing, taking like a property that someone else would pass over. They like, oh, I'm not doing. That's tore up from the floor up. I ain't doing that. And I will see that as a gem. In fact, I bought a house in Durham, North Carolina, and it was a Tudor style. It was a 2-1. It had a huge basement. I could have done something with that, but I was only in that house 2 years. If I had kept that house, ooh, because I only paid $50,000 for it. I only paid $50,000 and renovated it, and I knew that lady. I should have thought about it because she was a white female, a little older than me, and she wanted me out of that house in 2 weeks. I should have thought something anyway. But that house is worth maybe 200,000 now. We live and we learn, but I won't do that again. I won't do that again. So that's one of my passions. I like to buy homes, renovate, maybe sell, maybe rent out. So I'm working on getting all of this established. But what are your goals? What are your personal goals? Are we on the same page that we need to have a forum and one voice? See, we have to come into this knowing that we're not being killed, cancel, because we're Muslim or Jew or Hebrew Israelite or Christian. We're being killed because of what's on our skin, melanin. I've been seeing a lot of YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook. I've seen a lot of disturbing, these aren't even on the news. They don't make national news, but just harassment, you know, of Caucasians against women and men. It's not like only men, police and this and that. I mean, and nothing is on the news. It doesn't even make national news. So we have to say enough. We have the memo. We definitely have been given a memo. Definitely. So we have to have an ownership on our lives and the livelihood of our children and our grandchildren. Because if you're still going into spending money in the system, what are you coming out with? What are you coming out with? So, what I'm proposing, just the bare essentials, we can just have a moratorium of just not spending anything unless it's absolutely necessary. Absolutely. Obviously, we have to buy, clothes and shoes, this and that. But look in your closet and say, hey, I can get this I got this from a thrift store, in fact. I'm a thrifter. I mean, out here, whoo, we got the best thrifting. Now, if you come out here these next 3 months, you're on your own because it's really, I think it's 112 today or something. It's just like it's a blur. But when you come out, this is the best, and I've lived a few cities. This is the best place for thrifting. If you're a thrifter, I'm a thrifter, you know. But in fact, this the pants and the top. This is both from the thrift store. Both from the thrift store. So I try to stretch my money. If I mean, I'm not buying used or pre-owned underwear. Certain things I won't do, but tops and out here with this heat, one and done. So we have to manage our money more carefully. Here's my cat. This is Bonnie making an appearance. She's the cutest thing. Is that the little baby? Okay, get down, get down. Yeah, I got her from a rescue. I got her from the Humane Society. She's a sweetheart. Uh, Button is a little shy. He doesn't even. Oh, he's over here laying down, resting. But we have to manage our finances better. We have to consider bulletproof vests. I'm not trying to say draw that on energy on you, but police, I'd say at least 70%, I'm not going to say all of them, when they see black bodies, you don't know what's in their head. That's why I was talking about we need to have psychological evaluation, a litmus test on, seeing if this is a biased person. These are steps that they need to go through within the police academy, so we can decrease this amount of violence. It makes a huge difference if you're now that guy, um, Colorado, even though he shot, 10 people, including an officer? 10 people, including the officer, he was able to get into the police car without incident. Now, typically, we don't necessarily, on a global scale, have this type of violence towards anyone. We're the most gentle, kind hearted, loving people because we're the first man, sister, brother. But he went and the other guy in Atlanta, he was also captured without incident. I'm just saying, we have to have these types of conversations. They're tough conversations. We don't want to have these conversations, but we know where we live. So when we know better, we do better. So I believe a task force is at hand. There's like 40 million, 35, 40 million of us, melanated people and Hispanics, a little bit over, obviously. But we have to start with the melanated body because with that, we have to find out, do we need a task force? Do we need a bulletproof vest? Do we need fill in the blank? Do we need a website that we can go to that we can buy black and brown folks' supplements or this or that? Why are we going always to Amazon for some of these things that we know we can have? We have a warehouse, we can have the same kind of a similar system without, going into the trademarks or whatever. But we can definitely do some of this. Definitely. So I know this was a late, oh, it's after 4 o'clock, and that's 7 o'clock for you. So thank you. I don't think so. I was expecting a delivery. Um, we have to do better because right now we're wasting our money on things that don't matter. We are wasting our, funds. Why are we spending everything and we don't have anything to bank, anything to go into savings? No, it's not going to be a whole lot of money, but just maybe $1,000. Boom, I'll go ahead and invest. $1,000. Boom, I'll go ahead and invest. Make two investments about $500 each. But we're not thinking about that. We have to have the latest, greatest, whatever. At the end of the day, it's all made in China and it doesn't even matter. You know, we have to do better because we have the wherewithal. We have the gray matter, outstanding level of gray matter. So we know to do things properly and to spend 95% of your money out of your own community and family, and only thing you have to show for is a car. Only thing you have to show for, um, maybe a home, but build upon that. That's your foundation. Build upon that because when we know better, we do better. So thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And your patience is much appreciated because I really had a difficult time to get on this platform. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll be back 2:30 Mountain Standard Time, 5:30 Eastern. And thank you so much. Share, 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 like, subscribe. And I look forward to reading you all's comments. And stay safe. Be well. Peace.